Welcome everyone to the 2021 Anarchlympics, and as the opening ceremony begins and the 8 teams line up to compete in the most grueling 6 weeks of action. Now, as the disco light is lit, let the games commence. Up first is Archery, and to give you the rundown on the rules, let's hand it over to our Rift Side reporter, Rosie. Hello and thank you, welcome to the show, and the rules are quite simple. Our competitors have a bow that can be firing an arrow roughly every 8 seconds. Now, this shot can be empowered, or they could be cool and not even power it up at all. The aim is to kill the enemy and eliminate them from the game. Pretty simple. Now, back to you Iz to break down the event and the action. Up first, representing the United States and Evil Geniuses, Danny. So, Danny's attempt gets to happen as the opposing Diana is spotted and attacked by his team's Lee Sin. A little scurry into position by the pair, and the mid laners are involved as Yasuo and TF arrive as Lee Sin goes deep into the 2 burst heavy melee champions, as such a free kill goes over to Dig's lineup. That's going to affect negatively on Danny's performance here. Now, though, it's time for Danny to fire his first shot. Rolling up the river, he preps his shot, barely flashing over the Tempest from the Yasuo, and he releases his strings, the Quiver and Quill, firing that perfect shot. The judges will definitely score a 10 for accuracy and flair here as he picks up the kill onto the Diana for EG. Then a quick transition down to the bot side as the arrows are let loose, chunking down the Braum, all of which the arrows keep landing and landing, scoring him more and more points in this preliminary round. Then, a fantastic piercing arrow attempt eliminates the Aphelios and almost takes out the Braum naturally. However, if he had that shot again, he almost certainly would be able to take out the Braum, but it is impossible right now as Braum manages to escape the punishment from EG, and with that, it ends Danny's attempt. He does manage to pick up 2 kills on the Anarchlympians, and he is, however, going to be negatively affected by Diana killing Lee Sin twice. Now that this first event it can be drawn to an end, let's move over to our next event. After that event, we're heading over to the Baron Pit for our inaugural round of Championship Diving. Starting off this event with Dignitas's Afro move. For his first dive, he is going for the quickest 360 spiral tap you have ever seen into a grand entrance. He's beginning his approach. There's the speed, the extra distance from the Flash into the entrance. Oh, what a maneuver! And his team cannot wait to join him in celebration as Aurelia is so over the moon. She leaves her blades directly in a competitor's shoulder, leaving him dead to rights. And oh my, feathers are being ruffled and they're flying everywhere as Rakan is exploded after that amazing dive, and Zaya's just picking them up and throwing them at people. It's trading and pandemonium here in the pit. And there's kills going here, there, and everywhere. And oh no, evil geniuses. They have no flashes. That means that the Varus and the Vigo trapped in the pit are just left for dead. And Dignitas, through it all, have somehow managed to pick up a Baron in this amazing diving competition. Great play coming out from Afromu, landing his perfect execution. And now it is time for evil geniuses to cleanly sail past Dignitas. Sorry, I mean the sailing event. And what do I mean by clean sailing? Well, EG are on the Baron, and Dignitas have no way of knowing. They are two-manning it. Kennen is threatening to go in onto Dig. Varus and Thresh in the mid lane, pushing up the wave, forcing Dignitas back as well. Thresh's death sentence goes wide as Varus lands the Chains of Corruptions directly onto the Kindred, forcing out the first exhaust onto the Varus. The Cullen gets choked out as Braum puts up his shield to negate some of the damage, but the poke is coming out from EG. It's very hard, and Kennen on the top side is forced to slicing Maelstrom, looking to pop out the volley, who's forced to Stormbringer out. Now it's hard for Dig to get in the pit because Volley has no jump in and is already chunked low. Then Lamb's Breast Bit's already used by the Kindred, and Thresh flashes the wall, survives thanks to the Lamb's Respite, and that's an easy free Baron over to the evil geniuses side, as well as picking up the kill onto Fake God. And that was very nicely played by Ignar, and just watch what he does here. He roams up, throws the lantern out for impact to get some safety as the exhaust comes out. Then he turns back towards the Kindred, who's low on the ward. Flays uses his stopwatch, the box slows down Kindred, forcing out the ult. Then Thresh goes into the Lamb's Respite, heals up, flashes the wall, pulls in a target, forcing the flash out, and then a dead Braum. And also Gnar dying. Pretty good play from EG, especially since they secured themselves the win here in the sailing round 1. Finally, we go into our last round where we get an overall breakdown of these two teams. And we now enter the highlights from game number 4 in the Anarchlympics opening round. So, we finally are done with our first Anarchlympics matchup. This is a pretty big domination and statement from the team that's considered to be the second best in the LCS. EG dismantled Dignitas in all 4 games, and after one Baron throw in game number 2, where Dignitas managed to pick up a win, EG came back stronger, they came back harder, and considering Contracts wasn't even their starting jungler this year, and Sven Skeren, a MVP caliber jungler, is on the bench for this game, you can kind of see the strength that EG provides considering this lineup. And from how they drafted a lot of poke, they liked the poke. With the Varus lineup, Danny looked phenomenal on that pick every game he got it, and I think he got it every single game. It was very hard for Dignitas to deal with it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying EG were just the far better team. Dignitas had a lot of mistakes, one of which I would say is the draft. when you're sticking your best player in Afro move onto these defensive supports instead of engage heavy picks, you're gonna be snoozing for a bruising and cruising for a losing. Because I'll be honest, he needs to play these engages. He is the shot caller for the team, and when he's not performing to the best. As for the rest of the drafts, Yasuo, yikes. The Diana, yikes. I'm gonna be brutally honest, the only games that EG lost were the games where Dignitas had a semi-normal draft, and that kind of hints that when you're seeing these picks that are unique to Dig, they're not working out. And you need to fix your draft and get up to date with the meta, because Diana is not a meta pick. Volibear is not a meta pick. The picks in the jungle right now are Zinzao, Vigo, who was seen in lane in the TL versus C9 game, which is a completely different kettle of fish that I don't want to be touching right now. And yeah, the rest of the games that we saw were just EG blowouts. Dignitas stood no chance in this game, and analysts all thought it was going to be a clean 3-0. Except for me. Check out my prediction. You'll see I went 3-1. But yeah, no one thought Dig could win. EG, I've said in this video already, the second best team in the LCS. TSM up there in first, then it's EG, then it's 100 Thieves. Now it's going to be TL and then C9. That's the top 5 for the LCS. It's very, and I do mean this as very, straightforward into who's better than who. And as such, we can officially say right now that EG probably going to have a nice round 2 against either TSM or 100 Thieves. I'm not sure yet, as I haven't checked the actual matchups, and I'll be doing that tomorrow, as I'll be making my predictions then. But as we're done here, it's time to round out the first annual Anarchlympics Round 1. If you enjoyed this, leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new around here if you want to, and I'll see you guys for the next events next weekend. Peace out.